Hi everyone, Linda from Let's Talk Prepping. And I was planning on doing this video for a little while. I just noticed that the Alaska Prepper did a video on the exact same subject. So I was tempted to say, okay, let's not do mine. But this is a little bit different perspective than he had. And it's important enough that another video will help you in the long run. So I want to talk about the cbdc, central bank digital currency. And that's the currency that the government wants to issue. You would have to have probably a smartphone in order to use it, or maybe they'll let you use like a USB memory stick, and then you'd have to go somewhere and plug it in to get your universal basic income put on that stick. And you'd have, of course, go to a government area to do that, and we would need a government ID of some kind, so they really want some kind of a universal ID for all of us. In fact, they really would rather have a world ID. That's been tossed around before. And this cbdc is going to mean, of course, no privacy. You're basically going to be surveilled in everything you do. And what I really wanted to do was go look at some of the countries that already have this and the ones that are planning to have it. Because as you know, the more countries that enact this central bank digital currency, then it's easier it's going to be for the US to do it. So let's go look at some of these and see what we have. Okay, we're over here at bitcoin.com, and they say 81 countries are now exploring central bank digital currencies. 5 are fully launched. So as we go down here, we can see 81 countries are exploring the digital currency, according to a new tracker. This number is 46 more countries than the number in May of last year. In addition, 5 countries have fully launched their own digital currencies. So as we go down here, let's look and see. And they have a nice little map here that tells you the launched ones and the pilot ones, etc. You can look at that. So let me move over here so I can see what countries. This is from AtlanticCouncil.org. AtlanticCouncil.org. And they tell you all about the digital currency, what it is. And you can hover over a country to see the status and see what they're doing. United States is in research. Haiti is in development. And you just go through there. That's interesting. But the key findings are 105 countries representing over 95% of the global GDP are exploring this. A new high of 50 countries are in advanced phase of exploration or development or launch. Now this website says 10 countries have fully launched a digital currency, with China's pilot set to expand in 2023. Jamaica is the latest country to launch. Nigeria's Africa is the largest economy that launched it already. Russia is looking into it. South Korea, Japan, India, and Russia have made significant progress over the last 6 months. And you can go through here and look at the timeline and the race of it, and they tell you all about it, what it is. But let's go over here to euronews.com. Euronews.com. Central bank digital currencies. Which countries are using, launching, or piloting CBDCs? They've been surging in popularity over the last few years. So as you go down here, you're going to see the Bahamas have issued it, and they call theirs the sand dollar. And Nigeria has issued their currency. The Eastern Caribbean Currency Union created their own form of digital currency. Countries that are testing: Sweden, China. China became the world's first major economy to pilot a digital currency in April 2020. Jamaica. Ukraine has been exploring the possibility since 2016. India is set to launch a state-backed digital currency by next year. The Eurozone, it's actively looking into a digital version of the euro. The U.S., President Joe Biden signed an executive order on March 9th ordering the U.S. Treasury Department, the Commerce Department, and other key agencies to prepare reports on the future of money with a view to creating a digital dollar. And over here, this is Investopedia.com, and they go through, again, the countries that are exploring or launching: Brazil, the U.S., and I wanted to go to this one. This is stopcp.com. Okay, stopcp.com. And it's something nasty in the woodshed. Central bank digital currency explained. And they go through and explain it really well for you. And it's a system unlike anything ever seen before. It's going to exist on computers, totally different from the current system. And you can click on this and enlarge it and see. It's going to be controlled by a cabal of banks, governments, and corporations. And you can read here about the same people who are controlling everything else, going to control it. It says currently people keep their currency in one of three forms: notes, coinage, and numbers on a computer at a bank. Under the new system, coins, notes, and digital currency in its present form will disappear. The plan is to totally destroy the current currency system and replace it with a new system based solely on new electronic currency. The cbdc controllers want complete control of the financial system, and they're going to have to come up with excuses for the introduction of this in order to sell it to the public. Well, you know, as soon as we have the food scarcity and you can't get food at a grocery store, or the price is so high, people will jump at the chance to get a new currency so that they can buy food. Each coin, if there is a coin, will have an ID so it can be tracked through the system. You know, you wouldn't want to be able to counterfeit somehow the digital currency. And the controllers could restrict spending on things deemed undesirable: tobacco, alcohol, fatty food, cars, travel, guns, ammo. And if they want to stimulate a particular business or area, they could say you can only spend your money in this business or area. And they'll have to ban cash in order to do this. And it could be linked to some form of social credit score or medical status. Public outcomes: positive outcomes for the public, none; negative outcomes for the public, many, many, many. And the real danger is that it's totally dependent on electricity and the internet and access to the financial grid. No electricity, no way to buy or sell, which would be the case even with our dollars here. So grid down event would just stop everything. You'll have to worry about hacking, identity theft, total financial enslavement, total loss of financial privacy, control of your spending by the cabal. So let's say you decide not to join this, that you set up your own barter system for your small group. How can you not join it? Well, think of it this way. This is what's going to happen. Let's say you have chickens and you need to buy feed for the chicken. So you go to the person who's selling the feed, and he says to you, look, I can't get the feed anymore unless I join the cbdc. I have to do it so I can get the feed. And you say, well, that's okay, I'm still going to just barter with them. Well, you're going to find out that the government says, oh, you bought 100 pounds of the chicken feed and only 80 pounds were sold, and they can check everything. So then they would check and say, hey, wait a minute, you only sold 80 pounds. What happened to these other 20 pounds? And you know they're going to just try to do everything they can to keep people from bartering, using a black market or anything else. So they would be checking on things like this, and they would shut the feed man down. So he's going to say, I can't barter with you anymore. So the government's going to have control over the inventory. Think about it. Suppose you need heating oil for your furnace. There's no way you're going to be able to barter with the heating oil company, or gasoline for your car, or the supermarket. So you're not going to be able to barter for many, many things. And what I want you to do is think about this and what can be done. How you can minimize the effect it's going to have on you, because that's what you really want to do. How can you still barter or whatever and keep under the government radar so they don't come for you and they don't know you're bartering and doing something? You might still be using their system, but you'll be doing something else also. The thing too then is they will be cracking down on black markets, bartering, things like that. So people are going to turn you in. So you're going to have to watch out, because they're going to get an immediate bonus for turning you in for going against the system. So your closest friends might just turn on you because they need the money. So what are you going to do? I want you to start thinking about that. That's the whole purpose of this video. Think about what you're going to do, how maybe it can be stopped, how you can minimize the effects on you. Comment for us, subscribe, like the video, and thanks so much for watching.